And so now I'd like to turn the ceremony over to Reverend Michael, who's going to lead the sharing.
God, afternoon, family. Oh, I am just overjoyed. My heart is on full right now, and I know that your heart is full too. I'm so honored here to be in the presence of all of you and in the presence of our beloved Connie Hopeseed. For as metaphysicians, we know that this celebration is for her ongoing life. We know that life never ends, that her life is God's life, and God cannot die. So we know that God is right where she is, right where we are, and that she is with us in this moment. I can feel her presence right now through all of you. My blessings and my condolences to the family of Connie, to her sponsees, and to my beautiful and favorite ministerial teacher, Reverend Carol Bliss. My eyes are just leaking right now, Reverend Carol. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you for that talk. You know, it's no coincidence that we are connected through the silver thread that weaves us all together with Connie Hopeseed. Thank you, Reverend Scott, also, and for all our musicians, for everybody who's co created this beautiful homegoing celebration. I'm just so full seeing that video, you know, with Tina Meeks and seeing the old church and being reminded of the nights that we spent in that living room, you know, on those Tuesdays and Wednesday nights with Connie and many of you, right? It's already been said, but it's so nice. I got to say it twice. Connie lived the principles in her life, the principles of unity, you know, togetherness, oneness, the principles of service, of giving to others, and the principles of recovery. She spoke the language of the heart, and Connie is a true human revolutionary, you know, for love. She sponsored, she mentored, she supported literally thousands of people on the recovery walk. We were connected also through the fact that we were Vietnam War activists, you know, and Connie had a fierce courage. I mean, she had the mother lion heart. Like she stood up for what was right, you know. Like she she didn't she well, you know, they used to say some things in the room that I won't repeat here, but Connie gave it to you for real. She was a living ancestor, and now she's joined the legions of ancestors on the other side of life. And during her time here, I felt that we were kindred spirits, you know, sharing the recovery walk, sharing traumatic life events, that whole Vietnam War experience, the love for children and for people who needed a sense of hope, the love of service. She was a true peacemaker, an activist, an instigator for love. And today we're here to celebrate her ongoing life. We just all join together as we just say thank you, God, for her life eternal, for her example of fierce courage and her never giving up spirit, because Connie would never give up on you. She had fire. She still has that fire. Her passion was often fueled by anger and outrage at injustice and inequity. And she never failed to call it what it was. And what I'd say to Connie right now is well done, faithful servant and servant leader, Connie. You have finished the race. Enter into the joy of your master. And what would she say to us right now? I have a prayer that I feel and hear and sense Connie's voice in. And in closing, I'd like to share this prayer before we open it up for sharing for others who would like to contribute. This is called the Great Spirit Prayer. So please join with me as we just anchor this in our hearts. Oh, great Spirit, precious one, whose voice I hear in the wind, whose breath gives life to all the world. Hear me now, for I need your strength and wisdom. Let me walk with you in beauty and make my eyes ever behold the red and purple sunset. Make my hands respect the things that you have made and my ears sharp to hear your voice. Make me wise so that I may understand the things you have taught my people. Help me remain calm and strong in the face of all that comes toward me. Let me learn the lessons you have hidden in every leaf and rock. Help me seek pure thoughts and act with the intention of helping others always. Help me find compassion without empathy overwhelming me. I seek your strength, not to be greater than my brother or sister, but to fight my greatest enemy, the false beliefs of myself. Make me always ready to come to you with clean hands and straight eyes. So when life fades as the fading sunset, my spirit may come to you without shame. And so it is. And at this time, family, we would like to open up the sharing for anyone that would like to speak a word of story or blessing or memory into the circle, celebrating the ongoing life of our, I see you, Troy. I see you post of our beloved Connie. So I
I would
believe,
like to speak also. I'm her sister, Tracy.
hi, Tracy. Yes, please share.
I'm so grateful that you guys did this for her. I'm just really glad that everything you guys said about her was true. I tried to get Connie to accept Jesus Christ as her savior for about a year, and finally, about a month before she died, she accepted Jesus as her savior. So I
Amen.
know I know when she got up there, her name was written in the book because she told me to put it in the book for Jesus to accept her.
Mm,
And her name's, when she got up there, her name was in there. She said, Connie Sonia Amstone. And he said, well done, faithful servant. And I'm
amen.
so blessed that she said the sinner's prayer and that she's walking with the Lord and that she is in heaven. And I'm
Amen.
thankful to all you guys for putting this on for her. And that's all I have to say. God bless all of you.
God bless you, Tracy. Thank you so much for joining with us today. Praise God for you and for Connie. Mhm. Blessings. Are there any other family members in the room that would like to share? Is Angus still with us? Yeah, I see him. Okay. How about any family of choice? Yeah, there you go, Troy. If you can make me co-host, Reverend Scott, I can then unmute folks that I see who have raised their hands.
Okay, I will.
Okay. And Jack Cousineau. Troy is having a technical opportunity. So Troy, while you're working on that, maybe we could, oh,
Am
there
I
you go.
back now?
Yeah,
Can you
you're
hear me?
back. You're back. Welcome to the planet.
Okay. Oh yeah. I met Connie here at Ahiah. We took a class together. It was and then we became prayer partners. Connie, outside of Ahiah, Connie's the only place I could call home. We lived together for 6 years, up until she went to assisted living. And one thing about living with somebody in this practice, you help each other evolve in the spiritual principles. And her and I help each other evolve in the science of mind principles. And she became family. Actually, That's the best way I can put. Not to repeat everything else that's been said about Connie, but it's just a great person, great loving spirit. And after all she went through, to have that much love for everybody else in the world was amazing. So I learned a lot from Connie. We learned a lot from each other, and she'll be greatly missed. And I think about it all the time because I said, outside of Ahiah itself, my first only home in California was with Connie. So she's greatly missed, and she touched my life forever. And that's about it in a nutshell. I can share stories all day long, but they would probably not appropriate for this time right now. Connie was a great spirit. Like I said, we all knew Connie, and she will be missed.
Amen.
Yes.
Thank you, Troy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Troy. Jack, would you like to share?
Yeah, I would.
Thank you.
Hi, I want to send hugs and love to all my friends at Ahiah. And what I wanted to talk about, Connie, was just to pay tribute to the beautiful spirit that we all knew as such a great overcoming. Surprised to find that, like Reverend Scott, I connected with Connie through foster care because we really began to talk when I started doing a psychotherapy internship at a large family service agency, and I was the foster care clinician. And what strikes me as so wonderful about Connie and her dedication to the children she served in foster care is that she was one of those children. That she started out as a child neglected, abused, and unschooled. And yet the spirit within her was so strong that it led her through this life trajectory that so many of us have witnessed at least some part of. And to come out at that place where she truly was the original child she had always been in all of her beauty and glory. And I want to pay tribute to that. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Jack. Beautiful words. Who else would like to share some memories of Connie?
I would like to.
Thank you, Gloria.
I really can't say enough about Connie. How often she made my day just by coming in every morning before going into church. She'd go through the bookstore and into the sound room, and she would say, "Where's Precious Gloria? I cannot go into the church without saying hello to Precious Gloria." And there's just something about the way she said that it just turned my smile up and my thoughts up and made me want to kick my heels. And so in honor of her today, I'm wearing all my purple. I'm wearing the last couple of peace gifts that she gave me. You can see bracelet, peace and love jewelry. She was always giving me things. And I just am going to miss her so much.
Thank you, Gloria. I don't have any earrings, but I have magnets all over my refrigerator from Connie. I remember when she had
so many gifts from
her.
her.
Right. I know. What a blessing. Thank you so much.
I often thought that she spent the whole week making gifts. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So Connie Hopeseed was like Johnny Appleseed, who went around the world, planting, United States planting the apple seeds. She planted hope seeds, through all of these magnets and cards and, posters, T-shirts, earrings, all of these things. And though all of those things will continue to spread hope and love and joy. Mhm. Beautiful. Who else would like to share a story or remembrance? Hi, Elizabeth. Elizabeth has her hand up. Oh, wait, we got to unmute you.
Yep.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there I go. Well, first of all, it's a beautiful service. And I really didn't know Connie that well because um, I had just started with the church. So I would say I probably knew her a couple years. And when I started playing bass for the church, and then went on to sing, so we sort of connected because she would come up to me, after, and so like I said, I didn't know Connie well, but I knew her well enough to just to celebrate that, what a wonderful human being she is. Of course, we shared both a love for purple, because I love purple, she loved purple. So and also we shared some good laughs about some things that I can't repeat. uh, but she had me falling out one day. I couldn't believe that whatever she said came out of her mouth. I was like, oh, I couldn't believe it. And then we just howled. It was great.
Yeah.
She always, just had beautiful words of encouragement. And I look forward to Sundays and just giving her a hug and a kiss.
Mhm.
And yeah, she's greatly missed. And I'm so grateful that I got a chance to meet her, even though our time was brief.
Mm. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
You're so right. Connie knew how to keep it real. She was she was genuinely
Yeah.
authentic, Yeah. Mhm. And
Yeah.
I think about all the women from the Casa Treatment Center next door that Connie helped, Um, yeah, she just was a person who gave of herself. Who else would like to share a memory, a story? Just a few words. Yes, Nancy. Nancy Williams. Oh, I'm muted. There you
Okay,
go.
great. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I too didn't really know Connie very well, and just listening to all the things that she did in her life makes me really sad that I didn't know her very well. I feel like what a missed opportunity to really know this dynamic woman. Um, so I did see her at church, usually at hospitality, but I want to say it was last year, but maybe it was 2 years ago. We were in, I don't know, it must have been a class or a little seminar or something, a one-time thing. And it was in the evening, and she had called Access, I guess, to pick her up and take her. And she was using a cane at that point, and she was leaving and the building to go out front, and it was starting to get dusk. And so I walked out with her, and she didn't want to put me out, but it was like, there's no way I was going to let her walk out the driveway by herself. And just in those few minutes, and we went back and forth 3 times, we'd come back in the classroom because they weren't there, and go back out and come back in, and she didn't miss it. She got it. But just even that little short walk down the driveway, she just had such a sweet and just such a loving and personal aura,
Mhm.
So that's it. So,
Mm.
but I felt, oh, what a missed opportunity to know her deeper. Yeah.
Thank you, Nancy. And I have a slight reframe for you, because I think that those qualities that she demonstrated, I think they're very much alive in all of us. And so the invitation would be that, we practice those principles, the unconditional loving, maybe call someone precious, in memory of her. Yes, give of service, give to us, to someone, just to really anchor the truth that we do know Connie, because we know that silver thread that connects us all, that thread of love, of service, of caring, of compassion, right? We were all connected, and I very much feel her living presence on the other side now. And what I know to be true is, she loved the ascended masters, and that now, she's unleashed her light from this side, and she's on the other side and continuing to do this work of love. So thank you for bringing that forward, Nancy. It's a good reminder for all of us that we are connected to that same source. And I have committed to facilitating another circle at 1:30 today. And I would be remiss if I was late, because that circle won't happen if I'm not there. I love all of you so much. I love Connie, and I'm so looking forward to us being together again in that parking lot.
Well, thank you, Reverend Mike.
Thank you,
Thank you.
family.
And thank you for your words of Connie. They were truly lovely.
Thank you all. Reverend Carol, I love you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye for
So
now.
I saw Chris Glick raise his hand. I think maybe he was looking to share.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the poise that Connie had, her poise. And before she went to the assisted living, she would come to choir rehearsals. Even if some people wouldn't show up, Connie would always be there. She would call sometimes to see if there was choir rehearsal. She would always show up with such poise. That word just to me is Connie. And one day she came and we were sitting in the sanctuary just talking, and I excused myself. I had to use the bathroom. And somehow I left my phone in the bathroom. So I came back into the sanctuary and I realized I didn't have my phone. I went back to the bathroom. By that time, I think Connie had used the bathroom and came back. So I didn't find my phone. So I said, what's going on? And I get back to the sanctuary and Connie's sitting there just with this poise. I can only describe this as a person that is just always in the light. She's always just right there, present. And so I asked her, did you perhaps pick up a phone while you're in the bathroom? She didn't know. Okay. So we talked a bit, and then I asked her if she perchance had a phone on her, and maybe I could use it to call my phone, because I knew it was somewhere in the church. So she pulls her phone out, she hands it to me, and I dial my number, and the phone is ringing right where Connie is sitting. So I'm thinking, okay, so where is this phone? So I still couldn't tell. I said, oh, can you look in your pocket? She used to wear these, your jacket like, pajama like, or blouse like things with long sleeves, and they had little pockets, right? So she pulls my phone out of her pocket. And she was not, she didn't react at all. She just handed it to me. And I just looked at her and I said, thank you, Connie. And that was Connie, man. I'm telling you, that poise when she would show up. And one time she said to me, or she thanked me because she was singing again. And I just, when she said that, I kind of lost it for a minute. But that's Connie, you know, I miss her so much. But like we say, to me, her memory is always a blessing. I can live in that. And I'm just grateful for that.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
That was a wonderful story.
Thanks.
So who else would like to share? I'm just kind of going through, it looked like Myrna's hand was up. Can you unmute yourself, Myrna?
Yeah, that was a beautiful service and I really loved it. I met Connie years ago, actually. Her kids, Beth and Jessica, were the same age as some of my grandkids in Duarte, and they participated in sports together. And so that's where I met Connie when she would come and participate in watching the kids do sports. And I also knew her when she went through the grief of Beth, car accident and death. And then we kind of lost track with each other over time. And then I was so shocked to see her at Ahiah. You know, it was a nice greeting to get back together. And I learned her personality and everything on a whole different level at Ahiah than previously we had known each other. But she's been just great, a great friend and a great teacher, actually, throughout her whole life and throughout the time that I've known her, which was many years. And I'll miss her a lot. And the service today was really beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Myrna. So who else would like to share?
Nancy,
Who?
Nancy Johnson has her hand up.
Oh, okay. Please unmute yourself.
I just wanted to say how beautiful that service was, and the meditation, that music from Gabrielle and Tina Meeks, and it was just so inspiring in honoring Connie. And I knew Connie a lot because she was good friends with my sister, Miss Adelaide, and they both had that whole love of purple. And, you know, you knew they were coming. They were the purple ladies, and how sweet that was, how they cared and talked to one another. And I just picture, even now, Connie gave me a little thing of lavender that that she and my sister used to share a love of lavender also. And I can just see them together, skipping through heaven, throwing lavender seeds everywhere to bless every person they come in contact with on the other side. And so I'm just grateful for her life. And I remember the first time I saw her car and I was like, whose car is that with all that stuff on it? And then I looked at all that stuff and it was so beautiful, the peace and love that was there. And I was like, whoever owns this car must have been a hippie. So I just love that about her, and calling me precious and calling Nikki precious all the time. And it just warmed my heart so much. So I'm glad to have this opportunity to share even a little thought about Connie.
Okay. Sandra, I think you had your hand up. If you would unmute yourself, you can speak. There you go, Sandra. Oops, you muted yourself again. One more time and that'll unmute you.
How did you do that?
Do it.
Get to that.
I touched. You
Okay. Greg, would you like to speak?
I'm sorry, I should have muted myself. I apologize, Scott.
No worries.
I want to share about how I didn't know Connie long enough or well enough, and yet she was my first friend at Ahiah, and I'm so grateful for her. It was a time in my life when I wasn't feeling good about myself. A lot of things had happened, and when she called me precious, it made me feel so special. I didn't know she called everybody precious, but it felt good that she called me precious, and I'm so grateful for that. I met Connie and we were in the choir together for several months, and like myself, I hadn't sung in many, many years, and she had not either. So we had that bond, and it was beautiful to see her unfold in the choir and see her voice get bigger each time, a little bit, just a little bit, because she hadn't sang since her son had been in a car accident and left. So it was very emotional. I loved how courageous she was and how strong she was. And she really taught me, despite all the challenges in life, she could still find her joy. I will always remember that. I want to say to her family and her sister and sister-in-law and grandson, I'm sorry for your loss. It's really hard to lose someone you love and someone as extraordinary as Connie. She was so colorful. I was blessed enough to get the earrings as well. And, she was just so generous. When Ahiah did the first Martin Luther King celebration 2 years ago almost, I wanted to come, and I was very challenged financially at the time. And she's like, come. I said, well, I would, but I don't have the money for gas. I live about a half an hour away. And without a beat, she hands me $10. I'm like, now you can come. And I came. I mean, just without even a beat. It was just so beautiful. I saw Connie in my mind's eye several times this week in anticipation of this beautiful service today. And thank you, Reverend Scott. And the moment I saw her face, I heard this prayer. It's a 12-step prayer, and I felt like she wanted me to share it. So I will. I know this prayer really well, and I usually tear up, so I'm just gonna let you know that ahead of time, because I hung on to these words for a lot of years. But it's called the promises. If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we can see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook on life will change. Fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us. We intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them. God bless you, Connie.
Well, thank you, Louise. Thank you for sharing. Is there anyone else who would like to share? Barbara Bruner.
Yeah, if you've been at Ahiah for any length of time, there are certain names that are just inseparable from all the good things that are Ahiah. Lori Benson, Adelaide Massingale, Janet White, and of course, Connie Amstone. These are people who just, you feel enriched having known and spent time with them. Connie will be missed, and I'm grateful for having known her.
Thank you, Barbara. Yes, absolutely, she will be missed. Is there anyone else who would like to share? Elizabeth Keel.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm in my house in the bathroom because my iPad wouldn't stay charged. I would like to say that Connie Amstone was my sponsor for over 20 years.
Yeah.
She was everything to me. I started my journey with her. I have 22 years in the program of Narcotics Anonymous. She never left my side through my journey. Was my friend, my confidant, my sponsor, my best friend. She was everything to me. She is an icon in this program. And in everyday life, she was loved by everybody. She touched so many lives, and mine for sure, because I remember when I was new, and I'll never forget this, when she was taking a cake for 20 years, and I was in the with everybody sitting there, cheering her on. I say to myself, one day that's going to be me. And guess what? It did happen to me. I stuck to the rules and everything for the program. I'm not perfect, like nobody is, but I'm just forever grateful to Narcotics Anonymous and God and the fellowship and everybody, and to Connie, because it's really hard for me because I miss her so much. It's just, this was hard for me to watch this today. I couldn't do it continuously because it's a very emotional thing for me. But I want to thank you for doing this for her. And I love everybody that's here and participating. And you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you.
Elizabeth, thank you so much. Thank you for saying those words. Thank you for reminding us of Connie's generosity. Wow. I've never known anybody who was more generous than Connie.
Yes.
She gave not only of her time and her talent, but also her treasure. She gave to people constantly. And I know that that's remembered by those. And those people who've received, and what I am hoping is that we can all pay it forward, that we can all pay it, not back to Connie, but to the people that she would want to have continued support as we move on from that. So thank you, Elizabeth.
Welcome. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. God bless everybody.
Absolutely. So who else would like to share?
I would like to share.
Absolutely. Susan.
Yes. Connie. I'm going to miss her. I first met Connie at Ahiah at the book study back in the old building. And what I love about Connie is always her curiosity and her inquisitiveness. She always wanted to understand the spiritual principles. And she didn't have any qualms about challenging, what she didn't understand, and making sure that we could explain it and or we could talk about it together and just kind of explore each other's ideas. And I remember Connie wanted to get to know me a little better, and she invited me to lunch at a vegan restaurant in closer to my home. And we just sat, and I got to learn a lot more about Connie, her life story, her childhood traumas, and some of even her young adult traumas. Like Jack, I too am a therapist, and at the time I was working in foster care. So she definitely shared a lot about her experiences working with the Department of Mental Health and working with children in the foster care system. She was actually getting ready to end her career, and I was beginning my career in that field. And she just was a wonderful soul, and I always will appreciate her honesty, and her, like it's already been said, her candidness. She says what she thought. She didn't necessarily edit it at things, and She was definitely a free spirit. And there are so many conversations that we can't discuss in this because it would be inappropriate. But I think that's one of the things I loved about the peace and love and hippie sister of Connie. The purple hair, the blue hair, the nobody mentioned the rainbow fingernails and toenails. Like that had a different color. And that was something that was important to her, that she liked to be unique in herself. And I think like many of us, especially all of us in the book study, we all have like I am shirts that she gave us so that we could, because that was the books we were studying, the I am discourses, and the Martin Luther King shirts from the peace, from the season for nonviolence, and her passion for peace and her passion for unity and her passion for everything for social justice. I know that if Connie was well, she would have been out there with the peaceful protests that happened this year, because that was what she was doing before it was 2020 and what we were experiencing. And her energy will be missed. And so that's my share for today.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you so much. And yeah, she did have a lot of energy and she put it out there in the world. So, is there anyone else who would like to share? Okay. Well, then I think what I'd like to do is go ahead and Chris, would you be willing to pray us out?
Yes, I will. And in this sharing today, the feelings that are coming through us are all feelings that we are honoring the presence of Connie. Connie Amstone, Connie Hopeseed. Connie is the light. That light is just all there is. You can close your eyes now if you like, and you can see that light. And as you do, that light is just filling that space in that thing that we see when our eyes are closed. And in this place that we are, this place where the only presence is spirit, the presence of God, the presence of all of the names we call this spirit. As I know this is true, as I know that God is all, that light is the knowing that I am. As I am, God is. And each one of us that is here today, and those that are here in the presence of the light, but maybe physically not in view, all of us share this. For each one of us is that presence of God that is all there is. And the work, the life, the joy, the peace, the love that Connie will always be, in the blessed memory that Connie always is. As Connie's soul is released into the best of what she is, we just know that presence is in Connie even now. And it just pervades every cell of each one of us and fills us with all of those things that Connie always is. Connie sang her song just like we all sing our songs. Her song is true. I am so grateful for all that we have shared today. I'm so grateful for Reverend Scott and Reverend Michael, Reverend Carol, all of the people that have been part of Connie's life. And I'm just grateful for this, and I want to just release this gratitude for all of these things and for all that Connie is and will always be. And I just send that out with love, and we just know that this is the truth. And just say with me, and so it is.
And so it is.
Amen.
Amen and amen.
Amen.
And so it is.
So thank you everyone for coming today. I want to say thank you for everybody who had a part in putting the service together. And I want to say thank you for everyone who shared today. A ceremony like this, it's here for us to anchor in to our remembrances of Connie. And it's here for us to learn from Connie so that we can go forward as better people ourselves. And I think that the stories that we heard today helped in their own way in that. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for caring for Connie all those years. And thank you for having your heart open today, because I definitely felt that love presence from all of you. And so I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now.